Hi guys, so this video is on what to expect from your first counselling session. So you've gone on the internet or however you found your counsellor, you've chosen the counsellor and then you rang them or emailed them, made contact, booked to see them, and then you've got your first session. Either you go into a place or their home, depending if they're private practice or in a business or just running from an office. So you'll turn up, you'll go to the place and they'll, I imagine, collect you from a kind of waiting area, or if you've knocked on the door, then they'll take you to their counselling room. So once you're in your room, it's kind of, what I like to do is say, you pick your seat. There's normally either two chairs or two sofas, and then you'll be in one, the counsellor will be in the other. So what I like to do personally is say to you, pick which side you feel most comfortable. Some people prefer to be near the door, some people prefer to be on a sofa. I know I do prefer to be on a sofa than a chair, so it's kind of just personal preference. So in the first session, it's quite paper based, so it's quite getting deep, but not getting deep because you're asking a lot of questions, but still you're not talking, you're not into it because you're quite aware that you're gathering information. So it's quite a weird session, the first one. So don't base the rest of the counselling on the first session. The first session is very specific in what it's trying to get at. So the first thing would be what we call a contract. So what I'd say would happen is there's two copies, one for you, one for the counsellor. Both need to be signed. I won't show you one because, like I said, everyone's is different, but I kind of give you the headers what I've spoken in contract. So there's confidentiality, so kind of explaining that everything you say is kept confidential. However, there are circumstances where, as a counsellor, we legally need to tell someone. So that's terrorism, there's child protection acts, and if you are a risk to yourself or someone else. So in them situations, if telling someone can make a difference to protect you and to protect others, a counsellor will tell someone. As counsellors, everyone has a supervisor. So a supervisor is someone that a counsellor sees for an hour and a half every month, and it's kind of, you could see it as a counsellor for a counsellor, but it's more of a training aid. So if there's something that comes up for myself, like, maybe I'm not very good at this bit, or I need some help, what can I do? Or, that happened to me, I don't know how to deal with it. We go to the supervisor and talk to them about it. And then about the session, so the prices, the lengths, if they're weekly, if you need them 2 weekly, and kind of the very kind of basics, so you know exactly where you're going to be every week. They should discuss ending therapy, so how that would happen. So if you decide, I've got all I need, so that's completely up to you, and you say when that is. And that's that. So you'll get one of them, and you'll have a copy to sign for yourself and for the counsellor. So other things that can be taken are emergency contact details, and that's obviously very important, and again quite a basic information to take, but it's needed if needed. And then also with that, any contact details, and then checking that it's safe to call you on them, because there are, working in domestic abuse, there are situations where you don't want someone to call because that can put you in danger. So next bit can be called information gathering, it can be called assessments, risk assessments. It's what will probably fill the majority of the session. Different counsellors may just have like a 20-minute intro session, others have the whole 50 minutes, because what I would normally do is do this bit at the start and then go on to just the rest of the session and kind of use it. But, like I said, some people will just do 20 minutes to kind of both introduce yourself and get kind of a general gist, and maybe do this on a second session, I don't know. The questions asked should be with an intent that it's gathering information, but in my eyes it should be what actually is important. So for example, job life, so if you're working or if you're not. Because if you're not, you may be struggling to pay for counselling, you may be having money problems, you may be struggling to put clothes on your kid's back. That having a job can make a big difference. And seeing if you're stressed at work, if you're working 60, 70 hours a week and not seeing your family, that can be really stressful. So kind of leading on from that, knowing what job situation you're in, I think is important. With that comes like health. So if you're exercising, drinking alcohol, taking any drugs or medication, because again, if you are exercising every single day or wearing your body out, well, why are you doing that? So the next thing that may be asked is your support networks. This can be quite a hard question if maybe you don't have anyone around. So kind of who's your family, who's your friends, who do you work with, who can you kind of speak to or look to for help? Because like I said, counselling shouldn't be a forever thing, so it's preparing you for life after. Also stuff, so I'll breeze through this really quickly because I don't want it to be a long video. So if you have a religion, because again, if there's different religions, then that may affect. Having any kids, if they rely on you, what their ages are. If you've had counselling before, how did that go? What did you like? What didn't you like? Why do you come for counselling now? Has something just happened? What do you want to get out of counselling? And then what exactly is it you're feeling right now? So is it anxiety? Is it medical problems? Is it abuse? Or stuff that mental health issues that have been in your family? So if you're, your mum or dad have had depression and kind of how you've dealt with that as their child. The question I think makes people feel the most uncomfortable is, are you suicidal or have you thought about suicide? Ask that question for some people may be very irrelevant, but for some people it's very real. So from our side, it's just gauging who them people are to protect the people that need to be protected. With this being the first session that you'll be seeing your potential counsellor you may be spending a lot of weeks with or months with or possibly years, and it's really hard because it's a very uncomfortable situation, but gauge how you feel and listen to that gut and think, could I see this person more? Do they put me at ease? Do I feel comfortable around them as much as possible in this situation, but grow to get to that point where I trust this person? And because not every person likes everybody, as you know, in real life and friendship, and it's the same in the therapy world. You may not like your counsellor, and you've got to decide. You can change at any point, but maybe in the first session try to monitor how you're feeling in that situation as well. Hopefully that's helped a little bit with knowing what can happen in your first session. Like I said, everyone's different, but if you have any questions, please comment below. See you later.